Only on 7 News, from grief to anger. The widow of Nate Leon opening up to 7 News about life after her husband's death. In a Call 7 Investigators exclusive, Theresa Marchetta sitting down with Katie Leon, who wants answers.
Her questions are the same ones we've been asking the Department of Corrections for weeks. But most of all, Katie Leon wants you to know her husband has a name, that he was so much more than a part-time pizza delivery driver.
I wanted big letters. Nathan Colin Leon.
That's what you're going to
the loving husband and father, the 27-year-old man that got murdered for a T-shirt.
It's been 9 weeks since Nate Leon, devoted husband and father, was murdered.
No matter how tired he was, he would come home and he would walk right in that door and say, "Hello, my little ladies," and my kids would come running.
Explaining to her 4-year-old twins why Daddy won't be walking through the door anymore has been a source of daily torture for Katie Leon.
That is the only reason I get up every morning. That is the only thing I have left of my husband, that are the spitting image of their daddy.
Struggling to find a new normal in the week since her husband's murder has been nearly impossible. With his killer, Evan Ebel, still in the news, Katie endures hearing her husband referred to as the pizza guy, or worse, his murder overshadowed completely.
Evan Ebel has a name. Why should that monster have a name and my husband is just the pizza delivery man who worked 1 day a week delivering pizzas for extra money?
Nate's full-time job was with IBM.
I kept telling him that he didn't need to work at Domino's, and he kept telling me, "No, baby, we need the extra money." I begged him for years to quit it.
But on March 17th, Nate never made it home for the St. Patrick's Day celebration they had planned.
I just want the answers of why this happened and why nobody looked into it, why everybody just kind of dusted Nate off to the side.
She says Denver police confirm Ebel is her husband's killer, but the Department of Corrections has never explained how the high-risk parolee had the time and opportunity to do it.
Why it took him 4 days after he cut off his bracelet for somebody to go check his house when they should have been there within 30 minutes. Why they released him. Why nobody did their job by looking at the paperwork.
The anger, the errors, the coulda, woulda, shoulda that would have kept him here.
I showed Katie and her mom what we uncovered. The parole division admitting there were no policies in place for responding to alerts prior to the murders.
We've never heard this.
And that Ebel was flagged for intensive supervised probation, even assigned a gang unit officer with a smaller caseload for closer supervision.
And you hear this timeline of events.
Anger. Lots and lots of anger when I hear that.
Makes me sick. This could have been prevented.
Leon's mother-in-law upset by the glaring lack of accountability.
Yes, there were mistakes made. Oh, really? But those mistakes took her husband, my son-in-law, my grandchildren's dad. Who's going to stand up and say they're sorry?
Katie, has anyone been held accountable in your mind? And if not, who should be?
Anybody that had to do with Evan Ebel, anybody that had their name tied to him should be held accountable. The judge, DOC, parole officers, all of them, they're just as guilty.
There has to be something done different so some other family doesn't lose their Nate, because we lost ours.
Everybody's just stood in the shadows since all this happened. You know, why is it my family in mourning has to stand here in front of cameras and beg them, have to beg them to come to us? That's not right. It's not right. I mean, what do I tell my kids? Oh, yeah, you know, Daddy was murdered because somebody didn't do their job.
And Katie says she's been told the state has immunity in her husband's death. She also says that Denver police have confirmed Ebel killed her husband, but can't close the case until the broader investigation is complete. I'm Call 7 investigator Theresa Marchetta.